Hey guys, Liam here. Welcome back for another Steam Deck game test. Today we have the brand new Dead Space remake, and I was incredibly excited by this because I loved the original games as much as they seriously freaked me out. Now I was going to wait until later in the weekend to post this, but decided to get it out now as a warning to people looking to buy it. And obvious content warning, this is a very gory game. The good news, it works. The bad news, it works very badly. Trying with both Proton Experimental and Proton Hotfix, that's the default set by Valve, it's no different between them. And I have this installed on the SSD just to rule out any SD card issues, as I wanted to be sure on that as well. The game even warns you that it's designed for SSDs as well, and claims that users on plain hard drives will see errors. Now, one of the major problems here seems to be how the game handles shaders and the cache system not being built for it yet. It will attempt to sort a bunch at the start of the game before you even get to the main menu, which took 4 minutes by itself, and then it still needs to load multiple shaders during the gameplay as well. And all that does is result in lots and lots of constant freezing and stuttering. Plenty of that will be it needing a shader cache, which gets smoother over time, and it will be smoother hopefully when Valve can send a shader cache for download, but some of it are some just bigger performance problems. Even the logo screens gave some serious stutter as the Steam Deck was pushed to its absolute limits by whatever work it was doing in the background, and the first run actually caused the Steam Deck to do a reboot on the initial loading screen. This is likely a graphics driver crash or it going out of memory, an issue that I've seen in other games like God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, and I've seen numerous others also have the same issue. Now, attempt number 2 still completely froze on the logo screens, but it did eventually stutter back to life after a while of waiting. Now, I had already seen some warnings from friends on this, so at the menu I put it straight into low details with FSR2 set to balanced, with film grain and motion blur both turned off. This does allow a fair few bits of it to actually perform okay, but it does not help fix the stuttering or the crashing issues. Now keep in mind that this is only on the intro scene that you're seeing, and it can't even hold 30 frames a second. It will freeze often, and it does that all through the game, and it really breaks any kind of immersion getting into it. Eventually, when you crash into the ship, it gives a pretty massive hard freeze and drops to 0 as it tries to load everything in. Now, I ran this part a couple of times to allow for the shader cache to build up, and even when it's smoother and you get over the initial massive stutters, it still just can't hit 30 FPS. And while this scene is harsher on the system than a lot of other bits when you're walking through small confined spaces, there are going to be a lot of big scenes throughout the game that will drop it hard. Now, I really don't like to be negative about games, but it's just quite now really shocking, and it really doesn't get any better as you try to play through. Some bits do get a fair bit smoother when it has a cache built up from playing the earlier parts in the game, but going through doors into new sections drops the performance repeatedly. But again though, some of this will be smoother when there is a proper shader cache for it. Now, I would show you some actual proper gameplay, really I would love to, but frankly it's just bad right now. I encountered another full Steam Deck reboot crash when entering the first elevator as well, and after that the problems just continued. The small clips you're seeing are me attempting to salvage something for this video, but most of it is just the game stuttering. Now, I'm sure some people will claim it's good enough to be playable, but whoever does that is insane to ignore the stuttering problems, hasn't played it long enough, or is just lying. It's not even the worst part though. Aside from the performance problems, the map will cause the game to hard crash. As I demonstrate here, this happens without fail every time you try to look at the map. So even if you could make it smoother, the map hard crash, in my opinion, that alone would make it not recommendable and unplayable. If an important feature of the game simply doesn't work and will cause the game to crash and for you to lose progress, no one should be recommending it. Sadly, it seems that VKD3D Proton, which is the part of Proton that translates DirectX 12 to Vulkan, just needs some extra work to really make Dead Space playable on the Steam Deck. I definitely think it's doable, and it needs a proper full shader cache built ready for it to give out to players like other games on Steam do already. So I imagine a future update should make it a lot more bearable. As always, I'll keep you posted on what I find and when I see updates for it, but for now, if you were wanting to play it on Steam Deck, it's a hard pass because the stutter problem makes it repeatedly unplayable, and the map hard crash also is just, it's not good right now. That's it for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you later.